morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me. I hope you've had a very good weekend. And I'm going to dive straight in. So this is as a small introduction. In the previous chapter, the Alter began to explain why the observance of the practical mitzvah is the ultimate purpose of Torah and of one's spiritual service to God. In the Mitzvah Chuman Naso 16 states, our rabbis declare that the purpose for which this world was created is that the Holy One blessed be desired to have an abode in the lower realms. Before God, i.e. in his sight, a distinction of higher and lower is not valid. One world is no higher than another. He pervades all worlds equally. Why then? What then do our sages mean by God desired an abode in the lower realms? Before any world was created, there was only he alone, one unique filling all space in which he created the world. Creation did not change his unity. He is alone now, just as he was prior to creation. The life force of all created things by way of numerous garments, which veil and conceal God's light. For without such garments, they could not bear its intensity and would cease to exist. As it states in Exodus 32:20, for no man can see me and live. Both such as angels and man are unable to receive the divine light and life force without concealing garments. The word Chai and live was interpreted by rabbis referring to the angels, namely the Chayat, who cannot see to the extent that the garments conceal the perception of godliness. This Shtalshalut is a downward gradation of world from level to level through many garments that conceal light, and the life was emanated from the massive universal complex in the physical world. So, just as a way, it might sound slightly esoteric now, but my understanding is the life force comes ultimately from Hashem, his life force, and it's coming down many, many levels, from spiritual levels to this physical world. That's how the life force comes down. The analogy of a light bulb and a generator. So a generator obviously has a high amount of, a very large quantity of energy and intensity of the energy, and to get that energy into something small like a light bulb, it has to come down many levels in order to light up that light bulb. If it didn't have that gradation and downward process, then the light bulb would just self-combust because it'd be too much light for the light bulb to contain. So that's my understanding of the downward gradation of worlds of life force and the godly light into this physical world, coming down through many levels. This lowest world is filled with Kalipot and the six act which actually oppose God, saying, I am, and there's nothing else besides me. So it's Kalipot, this thought and feeling, and in this world we feel separate from God, and it's opposite to God is this other side, which is not ultimately the truth, if that makes sense. The word olam in Hebrew denotes concealment, the purpose of Hishtalshalut in this world, for such is his will that he will find it pleasurable and subjugated to holiness. We're saying that the purpose of the world is for the other side, the evil, to be suppressed, subjected into holiness, and by converting this darkness of the Kalipa, of this evil, into light, this is the purpose of the world. For this purpose, the Holy One gave Israel the Torah, which is called might and strength. The resurrection of the dead and the mystery is the ultimate purpose from the creation of the world. Maybe that's a process. So the process is, from understanding this, that you take the evil in the world, you subject it, transform it into holiness, and then ultimately, the end of that process, once everything is converted from evil into holiness, then that will bring the ultimate purpose of the world, which is the Mashiach, or the mystic era, which, as part of that process, a part of that ultimate purpose, will be the resurrection of the dead. A glimmer of this revelation, which will take place in the future, has always been experienced at the time of the giving of the Torah at Sinai. As it is written, you have been shown that God is the Lord, there is nothing else besides him. So they had an understanding of the unity of Hashem and that nothing else exists besides him. He actually revealed himself, he made himself seen, indicating that the revelation was in a perceptible physical sight. It's actual a physical revelation, not a spiritual revelation, if that makes sense. The Ten Commandments comprise the entire Torah, which represents the inner aspect of his will and wisdom, and there is no concealment of the countenance whatsoever. But afterwards the Torah was given, their sin caused them both, for both them and the world to become gross again, until the end of days, when God's right hand, Yomim, meaning both days and right, his power will be revealed. To the superabundance of light which will shine upon the Jewish people, the darkness of the nations will also be lit up. Various specific verses are given to describe it. Thus we see that in the Messianic era, godliness will be revealed to all nations of the world, and in the state, the fulfillment of the purpose of this world. The fulfillment of the purpose of the world was created. I hope this made sense. I know it's a slightly esoteric chapter. If you want to leave any comments, please leave it in the comments box below, and please subscribe to asking questions and subscribe. I wish you all a very good week and take care. Bye.